Hey guys, this is Spark Plus Ultra here, and this is my part 6 on what if Deku had Tetsuo powers. Painkiller Override, and I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. Suku and the other students with Tetsuo in his holographic state. Suku and Tetsuo were talking and they come up with something. And Suku says, "You did what?" And Tetsuo says, relax. I spent it on the money on us to win." And Suku says, "You gotta be kidding me. Do you know what you done, dumbass?" And Tetsuo says, "What? In my usual past, we bet it every day. What's different?" And Suku looks with a smile on his face. Because in your past, you didn't have that much rules. And it was filled with freaking gang members. In this, lots of people are saving lots of people. And Japan has one of the strictest rules. And how much did you put on us? Was it? How much? And Tetsuo says, "Oh, look at that. The red and white haired kid is coming to us." And Suku says, "We're not done." And Suku says, "Oh, what's up, Zuko?" And Shoto tells Zuko and Tetsuo that he won't use his right side, his fire side, and he'll beat them with his ice. And Suku smirks and says, "Wow, somebody's feeling cocky. Do you really think my quirk is that weak? Please." And Shoto says, "I don't think it's weak. I'm just proving my father that I'm stronger without his flames." Suku and Tetsuo trying to figure out what's going on. "So, you don't want to use his fire even though it's yours? That doesn't make any logic, but hang on." And Zuko, "Can I look in your past a bit? I know it doesn't if you want. I'm not going to be faulting yourself." And Shoto says, "Whatever." Alright. And Zuko goes into Shoto's mind, and Tetsuo says, "Alright, what are we dealing with?" And Zuko says, I found the right place to see." And Suku says, "Oh, Jesus!" "What?" Tetsuo says, "Did," and Shoto in his young kid life was going to her mom. And her mom was like, near to breaking point. And Suku says, "Man, this is different." And Tetsuo says, "Jeez, now I know how bad this relationship with his father is. Wasn't expecting this much." And fast forwarding the time, and Shoto's father told him that his wife is in the mental clinic, and Shoto says, "She hurt me because of your flames." And Suku says, gets out of the telepathy and says, "Jesus, talk about having issues. Well, I know you're past now. I'm not gonna hold back." And Tetsuo says, "Yeah, same here. Even I don't hold back with people that is just trying to one-up something." And Shoto walks and says, "Prepare yourself." And Suki says, "Geez, the Edgelord vibe is just clean as a whistle." And Tetsuo says, "Yep, well, he has had a brutal thing happen to him. I can't blame him." And then Zuki says, "Right, so how much did you put into my bet that you chose?" And Tetsuo says, "Well," and while everybody was outside of the conversation with Tetsuo and Suku, Suki says, you put in 3 million yen? And Tetsuo says, what? You needed a price on the money. And Suki thinks, I'm going to kill you after this. And Tetsuo says, too bad, I'm powerful enough to stop it. Whatever. Let's just get this over with. And Sugu and Tetsuo go to the stadium and then weren't doing the minor things, the mini games, I consider, but when he was just trying to conserve his stamina and not use up all of his powers, because this is just going to be a waste of time for him. And Suku hears a certain person. Hi, Suku. And Suku sees, Setsuna? And Setsuna says, well, it's been a while when you were in the medical bay. I was going to visit, but I had no clearance. And Suku says, it's glad to see you again, babe. And hugging her with all the joy. And Setsuna says, it's good to see you too. I'm glad that you're okay. And Suki says, alright, I forgot to introduce you to somebody. And Setsuna says, who is that be? And Suki says, come out, Tetsuo! And Tetsuo says, I ain't a goddamn Pokemon, you dick! And Suki says, then why did you come out like one? You? And Tetsuo flips Zuku off for hearing that. And Setsuna says, oh, wow, this is part of your quirk? And Suku says, yep, this quirk is called Ego. I think it's mostly him. And Tetsuo says, oh, you are so frickin'. And Suki says, hey, you were the one that betted, so I get my fair treatment. And Suki laughs. Ha ha ha! And Setsuna says, so that's why you were talking in third person. I thought there was somebody talking to you. And Suki says, yeah, he also did something to the date, the first date we did. And Setsuna says, he did what? You know that date we had? And Tetsuo says, don't you freaking dare, you son of a bitch! And Suki says, he was the one that did the damage. He nearly put you in danger. And Setsuna says, oh, so you were the one that did that. And Tetsuo says, oh, fuck me. Suki says, payback's a bitch. And Setsuna beats down Tetsuo. Not the atomic budgie! And Suku laughs. You did him done, Setsuna. And Setsuna says, that put your interest on hold. And Suki says, well, at least he has a new job now. Afraid of you. And Tetsuo says, you did that on purpose! You used your psychokinesis to make me physical, you dick! And Suki says, I figured you catched on. I figured out how to turn you physical a bit. I can't make it last long, but it was worth it. And Tetsuo gets his underwear off his head and says, you are so gonna lose on this. Nope, you can't make any money, and I need a job. So, pay the price, bub. And Tetsuo says, damn it, I should have known this would bite my ass. And Suki says, then the running tournament has begun. And Suki gets ready to run. And Tetsuo says, alright, we need to win that before we don't half-ass it this time. And Suki says, you have confidence. And Tetsuo says, please, I'm your master. What you pulled was bullshit. And Suki says, oh, that is so funny. I thought you did the same thing to me with the rock. And Tetsuo says, just be lucky I didn't go harder on you. And President Mike says, alright, you guys, it's time to race, set, and go! And they go off, and Shadow freezes the ground to try to stop some of the classes. But most of them that could escape it, like Bakugo and could use their quirks to fly up. And Suki says, child's play, psychokinesis, gravity shift. And Suki uses his gravity manipulations to fly in by moving his feet like basically skis, but in the air. And Suki says, nice try, you edgelord, but you can't beat that. And Tetsuo says, hell yeah! And then Todoroki uses a heaven piercing on the 0-pointer and got up to the top and slid back down. And Suki says, Jesus, he really is that cold. And Tetsuo says, really? Ice puns? Now? What? You don't want to be cold? And Tetsuo says, just try to dodge the ice. And when Tetsuo says that, Suki has a premonition. Falling ice? Machinery coming down! And all of the 0-pointer falling down. And Suki dodges with his gravity shift to move as fast as he can to dodge. And Suki says, alright, no more Mr. Nice Guy. And Tetsuo says, yep. And Shadow freezes the rope and crossing it. Suki says, hey Tetsuo, you know the saying that you can reach a faster speed than the speed of sound? And Tetsuo says, usually I hear that with the speed of light, but what is it? And Suki says, one for all. Psychosis and 15%. Kicking is it up in the air. And Tetsuo says, alright, what's the move? Suki says, okay, condense the air around us, and I can freely control it to increase my momentum. And Tetsuo says, alright, got it. Okay, that strength training on the mental mind really does a work on it. And Suki says, alright, psychosis, G-force, Nova. And Tetsuo says, wait, what? What the hell is that? And Suki says, to surpass the sound of 676 miles per hour, you could increase it to G-force, which is the fastest you can get to at this state in space. You created a dense free flow area to make it similar to the ocean for me. And Tetsuo says, oh shit, you're going to be moving at a high speed to the comparable to a hyper missile or hypersonic missile. Yep, great. Then the psychosis shock wave sprung, and Suki going as fast as a ballistic missile, going at hypersonic range and across the landmines and making it to first place. And when Suki was going to stop his momentum, Tetsuo says, use your psychosis to control your momentum to slow it down from every speed on the ground. Basically use all of the slide to not crash. And Suki says, right. And sliding, we need more slowing momentum. And Tetsuo says, I can't figure it out. Then Suki then thinks, I can increase my psychokinesis, but I haven't used my physical for a while. And Suku then uses one for all, 15%. And Tetsuo says, huh? What the hell are you? And Suku says, sledgehammer! And kicking the ground, hitting his foot, and stopping the momentum of the speed at what he was at. And Tetsuo says, never do that again. Noted. And Suku had made first place on the running track, and Midnight and all the students got into their similar place as usual. Suku and Tetsuo celebrate on their victory and says, heh, not bad. And Tetsuo high-fives Suku, saying, heh, looks like you're not so thick-headed after all. And Suku says, I thought that was you. And Tetsuo says, don't ruin the moment. And then Suku says, good thing I figured we could use the one for all to use as an anchor. And Tetsuo says, yeah, I forgot you could use it on physical as well. And Suku then thinks, maybe I could. And then a certain Setsuna says, good job, Suku. Whew, that was a long way. And Suku says, well, it took me a while to figure out G-force without, well, destroying my body. And Setsuna says, that was your new move. And Suku says, well, it's not perfected. I need to have more of a stop to not crash and burn. Like, literally. And Setsuna says, well, at least you're okay. And Suku looks up and hears Miss Knight. And Suku says, it's Setsuna, look up. And Setsuna says, and Miss Midnight. And Midnight says, alright, for those who have gotten top first, they got 1 million points. And looking at who top and bottom, Aoyama got the worst of it. And Setsuna says, well, you did rely on his quirk too much. And Suki says, right, I forgot his quirk is kind of useless. And Setsuna says, well, I'm on your team anyway, because I know you could win. And Suki says, thanks. And then Hatame and Tokuyami. Because, well, Zuki could literally lift them in the air, and Setsuna's arms could float. Hatame could use her jetpack, and Tokuyami is literally the shield. And making a pretty good, perfect match to keep each other from not being destroyed. And Zuku and all of them get surrounded, but Zuku then creates a whirlwind around him and keeping them at bay a bit. But when a ice appeared, Zuki says, shit, he came through it like butter. And Todoroki blocking everything to keep the number 1000 headband on Suki's head. And Suki says, this bastard is blocking everything. And then Shoto says, now I'll take that. And Suki then has a premonition. Watch out, he's having some Ira with the speed. And Tokuyami says, don't worry, Dark Shadow will block it. And Setsuna says, and aha, she got an idea. And Tenya goes for a boost acceleration. And then when he was going to have Todoroki get the 1000 points, a leg appeared on Tenya's leg and was in a tripping position. And Tenya thinks, that's Setsuna's leg. And Setsuna waves. Good thing Suku predicted that. And Suku says, thank you, Setsuna. I thought I was going to lose my cool. And Setsuna says, don't worry, my quirk can allow me to regenerate my whole body if it splits for a long time. Too many of them. Like a gecko tail. And Suki says, that's honestly pretty cool when you say it out loud. And Cho tries to ask Denki to use his electricity. But Denki says this, no way! Tetsuo can absorb the electricity for himself to become physical. I do not want to piss him off again. And Tetsuo says out loud, damn right you don't. I'm still hung up about that, you frickin' idiot. I was trying to help you on that one. And Shoto was honestly beaten at a strategy game. And Suku takes first place, Shoto takes second, Bakugo takes third, and fourth is Shinzo. And here we go! Let the fight commence! And when Zuku was going in the restroom, he was getting pissed. And Tetsuo says, luckily, that was a short time to use quirk. I'm going to take a little break. I haven't even had one since last night. And Suki says, yeah. Wait a minute. You're using my energy of sleep? And Tetsuo says, see ya. And Suki says, whatever. At least he got his comeuppance. And when he got out of the bathroom, he bumps into a certain person. And the person says, oh, sorry about that. And Suki says, no problem. And the person said, how was you got a good quirk there, kid. I wasn't expecting that. And Suki says, no problem. And person says, you look familiar to me. And the kid said, huh? What do you mean? I'm saying you look familiar. Like you had something on you before. And Suki says, you mean my hero costume or? And person says, ding ding ding. Yep, now I remember. You were the kid that got your head nearly tired out. And Suki says, yeah, when you say it like that, it sounds embarrassing. And the person says, my name is Kasaki. I've seen your jacket. It reminds me of mine. And Suki says, huh? You have a similar jacket as well? Yeah, it had a logo on it. It was a capsule. And Suki says, oh, cool. I didn't know those were popular. Suki looks around. Nobody's in sight. And my telepathy doesn't show anybody near me. What's up? What's the matter? You have my suspicion on something? And Kasaki says, Nah. It's nothing. I was just wondering, how did you even know our gang's logo? And Suki says, huh? I didn't know. And why do you have the capsule gang? And Suki then realized, crap, that was from Tetsuo's old gang. And then Kasaki says, relax, I'm just advising you to not use our gang signature. And Yamagata comes around and says, or you will face the facts. And both of them surround Suku. Why do these names are familiar to me? And when they were surrounding him, they hear their boss's voice. Hey, you two, why are you picking on him for no reason? And Kasaki says, Kaneda, sorry about that. We were just worried about our gang's logo. And Kaneda says, relax. It's not like he's destroying it. sure, our gang logo is one of the most prized possessions as well as a motorcycle, but I allow it this time. And Kasagi and Yamagata says, you got lucky, but we won't be angry at ya this time. And Hanada says, hey there, my name is Shotaro Kanada. It's nice to meet ya. You were the kid that used our logo. And Tsuku says, oh, did I? I didn't mean to. And Kanada says, don't worry. Next time, kid, don't use somebody else's property. Be lucky we were on good side. Heck, lucky you didn't chose the Hells Angels logo. Later. And Tsuku thinks, wait, Shotaro? Kanada? And Kanada says, that's the one that used that psychic quirk. And Kataro says, what's up? Is he a threat, Kanada? And Kanada says, nah, he's not. He's a nice kid. In the eyes, I can tell. And Kanada and Shotaro and Kasaki leaves the tournament. They already got enough info on what they saw. Tsuku goes to the tournament entrance and thinks to himself, those guys, those were Kanada and his friends. I don't remember all of them, but those were the Kanada from Tetsuo's world. And Tetsuo says, huh? What are you muttering about? And Tsuku says, I'll explain it later. And Tetsuo says, yeah. I'd rather just deal with this guy first. And Tsuku says, purple hair. Isn't that the guy that insulted us in the school? And Tetsuo says, who cares? I just want to be done with this already. And Tsuku says, yeah, same here. I don't want to use up my quirk. I already used some of it. Luckily, my energy was not spent on a stupid making you into a frickin' physical. And Tetsuo says, yeah, I am not happy about that either. But let's just get this over with. And President Mike introduced Zuku Midoriya. And President Mike says, alright, you guys, this is the prodigy of crazy calamities, or his crazy intelligence. This is Zuku Midoriya. His quirks, ego. He can create electrons from any matter to shockwaves and teleportation. He an ESP. He has a little friend there as well. And then there's Shinzo walking, and then Zuku thinks to himself, I've never seen this quirk activate. And Tetsuo says, don't let this guy fool you. Plus, if you slip up a bit, I'll bitch slap you faster than a world magnum bullet. Noted. And then Principal Mike says, alright, fight! And Shinzo says, that's a nice quirk you got there. And Zuku says, huh? Tetsuo says, be careful. We don't know his quirk. You said it's so. And Zuku says, right. And Shinzo keeps talking to him in a usual friendly to some unusual ones. Like, so your quirk allows you to create electrons. And Zuku getting a little confused on where the topic is. And Tetsuo sighs. I'll read his mind. Then Zuku says, yeah, you could do that. Then, when Tetsuo was going to go into his mind, Shinzo says, your girlfriend is surprisingly hot. And Zuku says, what? In his mind. And Shinzo sees Zuku's face and expression. And Tetsuo then looks at Shinzo's. huh? He sees Shinzo's body expression. What the? Is he? And Tetsuo then realized that Suki was pissed off on what he heard. And Shinzo says, maybe I should have her as well. Maybe I'm better than him, than you. And Suki says, back the fuck off! And then Tetsuo says, damn it, you idiot! You shut up! And then Suki was unconscious, and Tetsuo was disappearing. Shit! Yeah! And Suki was in his subconscious, and Tetsuo was nowhere in sight. Huh? The hell? This is when I got hypnotized. Usually Tetsuo would have figured it out by now. But then he sees Shinzo making Tetsuo's body move and telling him to get out of the ring. And Tetsuo can't stop moving. And when he tries to force his body, then he sees and hears a voice. Hey, can you hear me, you dumbass? Prep talk 1 2 1 2. I'm about to pitch slap you with a bullet. And Tetsuo says, huh? Tetsuo, bitch slap. And Tetsuo looks at him. Ow! And Tetsuo says, that's what you get. And Tetsuo says, I think I figured it out. And Tetsuo says, oh, no shit, Sherlock. I just found out as well. Now how can I do this? It's hypnosis. It's pretty surprisingly powerful. And then Tetsuo says, you can't willpower your way out? And Tetsuo says, no, I've never seen this one. And Tetsuo says, great. Then another sense around him. Huh? What the? And Tetsuo says, what's up? Is there something wrong? And Tetsuo turns around. And Tetsuo says, what's the matter? What the fuck am I seeing? Is this frickin' one for all? And seeing the one for all users in front of them. And they were shocked to see the one for all users. Then they got snapped out of it. And Tetsuo breathes. And then Shinzo sees Tetsuo not under his trance. And Shinzo says, how did you do that? How did you get out of my trance? And Tetsuo was silent and looks at Tetsuo. Just push him off out of the ring. And Tetsuo says, yep, I am not happy what he said as well. I'm sorry what he said. And Tetsuo says, noted. And Tetsuo grabs Shinzo and puts him out of bounds. And Shinzo says, huh? How did he? And Tetsuo then snaps his finger. You know that little buddy? And Tetsuo comes out and smirks. Yeah, that's him. And Shinzo says, wait, he's talking? How is he? Yeah, Tetsuo and I figured out you use hypnosis. You caught me in surprise. But you should be proud of your quirk. It's not even villain-like to me. And Shinzo says, compliment like that? Sounds devious. And Zuki says, maybe you should apologize to her. Looking at Setsuna. Oh, right. And then Bakugo takes the win on Setsuna. I mean, even in the team thing, he would have won anyway. I mean, yes, she can split herself, but she still feels the damage. That's kind of pointless. Even in Choko's case, he had range and better power to get through. Then we get to Zuko versus Shoto. And Zuko walks to the entrance and says, all preparations are ready, Tetsuo? You're damn right. No more playing around. And Zuko and Shoto go to the arena. And then when President Mike says, "Now fight!" and Shoto creates a ice fast as the wind, and Suku dodges the ice by sliding with his dash, and then Shoto creates another ice to keep him in one place, and Suku, son of a bitch, and Shoto then use heaven's piercing ice wall, and Suku then says, "Tetsuo, yep, got it, psychosis 15%, and jumping up in the air, and Shoto's ice comes up in a mere second, a ice of a piercing into the sky, and Shoto says, "Your quirk may be useful, but it's far lacking in power department." And then he hears, "Power department? Nice saying, but my versatility is still up there." And Shoto looks, seeing a Zuku smiling, and then Zuku slides on the ice, with slashing down on every ice that is sharp, making a ski slope. Yeah! And then Zuku then used gravity to keep Shoto in place, and Shoto was sticking in one place with the gravity keeping him in place, and Zuki says, "Nice try, pal, but you can't outsmart me." And when he was going to grab Shoto to unconscious him, Shoto says, "Well, it was going easy on ya. Try this." And Shoto uses his ice to create a tower, and Zuku's hand gets stuck. What the hell? Then slides down on the ice, and was gonna touch him with his ice side. Now, it's over. And Zuku says, "It's not over yet!" And using his right hand to block the ice on Todoroki, and Shoto says, "What the? Shouldn't done that." And Zuku says, "I don't feel it. I don't feel the cold." And Shoto says, "Huh? What are you talking about? My hairs are not going up. Don't you see that?" And Shoto looks. He's right. Usually, if he's feeling the cold, his hairs would have done that. And Zuku then shatters the ice by exploding it inside the tower. And Zuku's hand was free, and Shoto gets back. "Huh? How did you do that?" And Zuku says, "Boy, you wanna know? It's gonna be messed up." And Shoto says, "You don't have a quirk that could have pain tolerance." And Zuku says, "You're right, I siphoned it." And Zuku's pointing to his head, and Shoto says, "What?" And President Mike says, "He siphoned it? He siphoned his nerves? His systems?" And Zawa says, "Yes, his quirk allows him to use electrons. He can also makes some effects on the brain, meaning he could theoretically make his brain stop registering or react 10 times faster. It looks like he can." And Zuku says, Looks like I don't need those painkillers. Now I can go all out for it." And Shoto sees his hand. Huh? Break his hand with his quirk? And Zuki says, "Now, let's do this, Frosty!" And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time.